Let's turn to our third and final story now, football. And the creation of a so-called European Super League has been scotched by fans and others who describe it as disgusting, greedy and a betrayal.
We've got to stand against this. It's absolutely disgusting from foreign owners that don't understand the British game. We're all about the club, we're all about the community, and this is a triumph.
The fans just don't want it, and football belongs to the football fans, and we proved that tonight.
It's been a crazy few days of football. It's absolutely iconic. I have to say, I'm disappointed in my club for signing up to the Super League.
So, what were they all worried about? Well, the club owners wanted to create a European Super League, which would have comprised of 15 core clubs, including 6 from England, several from elsewhere in Europe. Well, these 15 would have had a permanent position in the ESL. Just 5 more spots would have been made available to clubs who'd need to qualify annually. In effect, those 15 core clubs would be entrenching their supremacy forever and crushing the hopes of lower-ranked teams who dream of one day being champions. OK, let's bring in Ian Cheeseman now, a football journalist who's been a Man City fan his entire life. But it was a close one, wasn't it, Ian? You nearly ripped that shirt off in disgust.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the future is going to hold, and it could well be that I'm still tempted to rip the shirt off because I don't think this is over. Yeah, when the Super League suggestion came along, that was something that I think 99% of football supporters didn't want. I felt particularly let down by City because they'd stood up to UEFA when FFP was brought in, claiming that restricted the dreams of clubs like City, who might have new investments, to go out and try and be as successful as the other clubs. So they achieved that. And then as soon as the opportunity came along, once they were in the cartel, to then be on the other side of the fence and exclude others, they did it, which I thought was terrible. What
do you think made the difference? It was actually quickly reversed within a couple of days at most.
It's fan power. It's not just fans, of course. There's been a lot of high-profile ex-footballers. Pep himself said that it wasn't competition and he wants to be part of the competition. How can it be a competition when certain teams are excluded or you have a 23-year guarantee to be in a competition? So I think there's been a lot of voices, but I don't think they anticipated quite the scale of wave and reaction from people. It caught them by surprise. They were naive about it. And that's a strange thing to say about a bunch of billionaires who make a big decision like that.
Yeah, it was a very powerful demonstration by the fans, by famous figures in football. They all came out strongly. It was no sort of hesitation about it. Can I ask you, what was the most egregious point about the concept of the European Super League for you?
2 things, really. The fact that it lacked competition, although I've got a feeling that this group might come, some of them anyway, might come back with a new alternative version which allows teams to qualify for it. But that's not just that. It's about snatching all the big money. It's about taking away the dream. That's really the essential bit of it. You know, us football fans love to see the FA Cup ties, where small clubs play against big clubs, where everybody can have that dream. It might be unrealistic in these days of enormous amounts of money. I think that's the biggest single part of it, to be honest. Yeah. And of course, if there'd been a league that they'd created, which is away from the auspices of UEFA and FIFA, who knows what they could have done? They could have split the game into quarters, made it only half an hour each half. They could have changed the rules because it's UEFA and FIFA that set those rules. I think that's a part of it as well.
People were furious at the owners because they had gone behind the fans' backs. They'd gone and hooked up with JP Morgan, a big US investment bank, and it hatched out this plan, presumably for years. And they're furious with these owners. And these owners come from, what, America, from the Gulf, from China, from Russia. Do you think this episode will change the rules of ownership? Do you think the government will step in and maybe emulate what's happened in Germany, where you've got 50% plus 1 share belonging to the fans?
It's possible. I mean, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, has said that they intend to have a shakedown of the way that sport in this country is structured. And I, for one, would value that greatly. I mean, I've been a fan and a journalist all my life, and the chance to actually have a say in my club and try to keep it close to its roots would be very important to me. But time will tell. I mean, these clubs are so rich. You know, it's the old analogy is it's like turkeys voting for Christmas. I mean, they want a bigger slice of the pie. They want everything basically, and think that they have this Super League where they just play each other every week. That will gross a bigger income from all around the world. They're not aiming it at the fans who attend matches. They're aiming it at the people who consume football over the television channels all around the world. And of course, it being in COVID, one, because they're empty stadiums, nobody's been able to protest, which shows how little conviction they had, because they knew there would be massive protests. But also it means we, as fans, have got used to watching football on television, and they thought that might mean that we would put up with it and just accept it. But they underestimated the fans, didn't they?
Yeah, very much so. Do you think the fans can rest easy now, or will there be another push for the ESL sometime in the near future?
I think, unfortunately, there will be another push. I think they'll go away now, the people who invented this, and think, what went wrong? What was it that didn't appeal to these fans? Why were they so mad about it? Maybe we need to make it somehow more merititious. Maybe we need to somehow give some chunk of money to somebody. Remember Project Big Picture, which isn't that long ago, which was pitched as we will help out the clubs in the lower divisions and support them more. They were just saying the right things to try to push through a power grab. And that's what this has been as well. So I think fans have to be a lot more sceptical now about their owners and about the motives of their owners. Up till now, City have been perfect owners, certainly from a perspective of a fan point of view. But now you have to be more sceptical, because I've heard City fans say that they went in at the last minute, that they felt they had no choice, and then they were the first ones to come out. What heroes? Well, no, there was a 127-page legal document that they had to sign. You're telling me that billionaire owners and chief executives didn't know exactly what they were going into? If there hadn't been the backlash that there's been, this would have gone through, and that wouldn't have looked good at all, I don't think, for football.
Well, there's the lesson. So going forward, fans have to be on their guard, because it's going to be presented to them in a more cunning, more beguiling way, but it's going to be the same result. Ian Cheeseman, thank you so much for your time today. Much appreciated. And thank you at home and on your phones for watching. Remember, if you want to see this or any of our previous episodes, do look at our channel on YouTube. Just type in Nexus TRT World. Well, till next week then, goodbye. Well, thanks for watching our program. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and even subscribe.